In a previous video, I shared a recommended 14-day road trip itinerary that you could do with your family around New Zealand. In this video, I want to share with you the optional extras, how you can make this road trip 3 or maybe 4 weeks. In the supporting PDF, I include all these optional extras at the very end so you can download this copy for you. Head over to my Facebook group Exploring New Zealand to download your free copy and get your kids road trip activity pack as well. Hi, I'm Emily and I run Emily in NZ. Exploring, living and working in this beautiful country that is New Zealand. I post every Friday about our adventures and what it's like to live here. Hit subscribe so you can see my next video. So you've arrived in Auckland and you've explored Auckland in day 1. An optional extra could be to head to the beautiful islands of the Hauraki Gulf. There is Rangitoto Island and Waiheke Island. In fact, this is probably a 2-day optional extra. You could do Rangitoto one day and Waiheke the second day. Rangitoto, you can't miss it. It is distinctive in the harbour of Auckland, a 600-year-old volcano that erupted and appeared from nowhere. You can get a fuller's ferry to the island and you can hike to the top. It shows lava flows, in fact it even shows lava tunnels. There are no facilities on the island, so you will need to bring everything. And there's very little shade, so on a hot day it can be pretty hot, or on a cold day it can be quite exposed. It is a great nature walk. There are a few toilets dotted on the island and you're not allowed to stay overnight, so make sure you book your return trip with Fuller's Ferry from the Auckland City Queen's Wharf. A more luxury trip would be to get a Fuller's Ferry to Waiheke Island. Waiheke Island has multiple cafes, restaurants and shops and is a popular place for people to live in some very posh mansions, and some people live and work in Auckland City commuting on the ferry daily. You can go as a foot passenger on Fuller's Ferries, or you could take the car and get the Sea Link. You get the Sea Link ferry from Wynyard Quarter, so a little bit further across the city. I recommend you be a foot passenger and you get the bus on the other side, or even hire a bike and bike around the island. You can head to Oniram Palm Beach or Onitangi Beach, both stunning, beautiful, picturesque island beaches. In fact, Lorde filmed her music video on one of these beaches on Waiheke Island. Another optional extra would be around day 5. Instead of heading straight to Rotorua and Matamata, take a detour to the Coromandel Peninsula. We adore this place. We spent some time in Hot Water Beach, a fantastic beach where you dig a hole and geothermal hot water comes up. It's so hot you need to add cold water from the sea to balance out the temperature. You've also got Hauraki Beach, which is a paradise beach and a lovely little area, and the town of Whitianga is worth exploring as well, with its marina and seaside feel. You can also head over to Cathedral Cove, which has been used for multiple filming locations, including Narnia. You can access Cathedral Cove by a walk, but do check prior as the walk has recently been closed as they were doing maintenance. There's a lot more you can do on the Coromandel Peninsula, including driving up to the top, although it gets very rural, and there's also Coromandel Town. But this detour for day 5 and maybe day 6 would be a good detour to do on your way to Rotorua. Day 7, instead of rushing to Wellington after you left Rotorua, you could stop at Taupo. Taupo is somewhere we go often. It is the very large distinctive lake in the middle of the North Island. You could stop at the Aratiatia Rapids. They open 3 or 4 times a day depending on the season and allow water to come out of the dam, and it is impressive. You can watch it go from a paradise area completely quiet to a white water river within minutes. You could also go to the Lake Taupo holiday park, in our opinion, the best campsite in New Zealand. A geothermal heated pool with swim up bar, pool cinema and water slides would be a great stop on your road trip down to Wellington. In addition to this, for another day, you could head over to Tongariro National Park. At the bottom of Taupo, head towards the mountains and head to Mount Ruapehu. You can do the Tongariro track, which is a 1-day hike. I do not recommend doing it with younger children, maybe under the age of 12. They'll need to be competent hikers as you are climbing a volcano, and they only recommend doing it in the summer as the winter can be very treacherous. Before children, we did it in the summer and it was a fantastic trip with an amazing view across the North Island. Or you can head to Mount Ruapehu. We visited in the snow and went up the Skywalker, which was a great opportunity to see the snow and a stunning view across the North Island from Mount Ruapehu. After you've headed onto the South Island, Te Waipunamu, an optional extra for day 8 could be a visit to Abel Tasman National Park. Driving over to Nelson, I recommend heading into the Abel Tasman National Park by the Abel Tasman track, one of my favourite places in New Zealand. walking the Able Tasman track, or walking and getting a boat back as we did in this video. The clear waters and the beautiful beaches will really take your breath away. You could base yourself in Motueka, where there's a top 10 holiday park, a highly recommended holiday park, which I also talk about in this video. It is suitable for taking small children. I spent 3 days there and did a full guide in my Able Tasman video, but I did go without the children. But I'll definitely go back with the children, but we'll just walk a little bit less of the track. So this detour probably isn't just one day, it's probably a few days to the beautiful Able Tasman National Park at the top of the South Island. And before you leave New Zealand on your road trip, you could add in an extra on day 13. From Queenstown, you could head up to the west coast via Wanaka, heading to Fox Glacier and Franz Josef Glacier. In the original itinerary, I put it as an optional extra to get a flight to the glaciers. You could drive a little bit further up and head to Hokitika, to Pancake Rocks and the wild west coast of the South Island. I hope this video and the previous 14-day road trip itinerary are helpful to help you plan your road trip around New Zealand. You could spend 6 weeks road tripping around New Zealand. There is so much choice and so many different things to see. It depends what you like, whether that's mountains, beaches, towns or cities. If you're a nature lover, you're going to love this country for its wide variety and beauty that is New Zealand. Thank you for watching. I'm Emily in NZ and I post about living, working and exploring New Zealand on my YouTube channel every Friday. So hit subscribe so you can see my next video. In the meantime, check out these videos that you might find useful.